Time now for the morning rush. A district court judge has now sentenced the mother of Victoria Martins to at least 12 years in prison for her part in her daughter's death. Michelle Martins is not accused of killing her daughter, but she admitted to failing to protect Victoria on the night of her 10th birthday 6 years ago by creating a dangerous living environment. We now know the name of the man who was shot and killed in downtown in an overnight officer-involved shooting with Albuquerque police yesterday evening. So actually Wednesday evening, they say that a 41-year-old Jesus Crosby was at APD's Criminal Transport Center. When officers tried to make contact with him, they say he lunged at them with a knife. 2 officers tased him and 2 other officers shot him early Thursday morning. Crosby died at the hospital. The Albuquerque Police Department is now addressing the recent rise of officer-involved shootings. APD says counting yesterday morning's shooting, since 2018 they have had 54 police shootings, including 17 this year. APD says the main factors in Albuquerque are mental health issues, drugs, and guns. Erica.
And here's a look at our hourly forecast through this morning. Temperatures are right around 30 to 29 degrees right now through 7 a.m., warming to just above freezing by 8. Make sure you're wearing your warm layers through all of the morning. We're only climbing to 43 degrees by noon, but we will be seeing sunshine.
An Albuquerque man is working in education again. That's after a stint in federal prison for embezzling millions from the charter school he founded. David Glassrood is out of prison and working in another education job, this time as the director of the Sylvan Learning Center here in Albuquerque. Well, the FBI is working with BCSO to track down the thieves that stole an ATM and dragged it down residential streets in Nob Hill. Details are still limited, but it appears that they wrapped something around the ATM inside the La Montanita Co-op, dragged it out, hitting parked cars along the street in the process. Police say a shoplifting operation in Santa Fe put 4 people behind bars. Santa Fe police say that they focused on the Target store on Zaffarano. It's after businesses reported an increase in shoplifting and other crimes in that area. Police say that they plan on conducting more shoplifting stings during the holiday season. Erica.
Threat index is moderate today. We do have those very frigid temperatures up north, and it is breezy in the East Plains with a cold wind chill, so make sure that you are covering up those fingers and wearing a hat.
Elections may be wrapped up here in New Mexico, but votes are still being counted in some parts of the country. Now, control of the U.S. Senate depends on Georgia's runoff and 2 other states, that's Arizona and Nevada, which remain uncalled. CBS News projects the House is leaning Republican with dozens of races still uncalled at this point. The first hurricane to hit Florida in 37 years during November was only a Category 1. The storm knocked out power to more than 300,000 Florida residents. Now, forecasters expect the severe weather to weaken as it moves across the southeast. Erica.
Let's get a look at traffic. We are looking clear on the maps, no accidents or slowdowns. And here's a check.
Well, the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York, announced the 3 finalists that are going into the Toy Hall of Fame. They include The Top, Light-Bright, and Masters of the Universe. They were inducted into the class of 2022. Organizers say the toys span the spectrum of play. It's from ancient times to today. It's also from simple toys to toys that are technologically advanced.
And time now for the 5 facts. At number 5, an online sale is giving you a chance to grab some one-of-a-kind artifacts while supporting the Albuquerque Museum at the same time. The sale features rare collectibles, folk art, vintage jewelry, and more. Starting at 10 tomorrow morning, people can bid on the items through the 20th. You can check out the catalog ahead of time at alwaysonkrqe.com.
And number 4, the FBI is working with BCSO to track down the thieves that stole an ATM and then dragged it down residential streets in Nob Hill. Details are still limited, but it appears that they wrapped something around the ATM that was inside the La Montanita Co-op and then dragged it out. As they were driving, though, the machine hit multiple cars that were parked along the street. La Montanita said that they were grateful that no one was injured, and they are working to make sure that shoppers and employees feel safe.
And at number 3, it's going to be a very chilly day. Here's a look at those high temperatures. We'll only be topping out in the 30s, 40s, and low to mid 50s.
And number 2, this morning, an Albuquerque man is working in education again. It's after a stint in federal prison for embezzling millions from the charter school he founded. In 2014, Scott Glassrood was being investigated for stealing millions of dollars from the Southwest Learning Center. It's where he worked as an administrator. Now, Glassrood was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison and ordered to pay $3 million in restitution. With 2 years of time served, Glassrood is out of prison and now working in another education job, this time around as the director of the Sylvan Learning Center here in Albuquerque. And at number 1, a district court judge has now sentenced the mother of Victoria Martins to at least 12 years in prison for her part in her daughter's death. Michelle Martins is not accused of killing her daughter, but she admitted to failing to protect Victoria on the night of her 10th birthday 6 years ago. That was by creating a dangerous living environment. Judge Cindy Leo spoke on the circumstances surrounding Victoria's death, and that while Fabian Gonzalez had manipulated Michelle, her decisions ultimately helped lead to Victoria's death.